According to the National UFO Reporting Center, UFO sightings in and around Virginia are up. Over 190 reports were made in 2019, and last year that number is said to have been even higher. Reports range from the standard dish-shaped craft to other shapes such as the triangle and pyramid. One interesting photograph that was recently sent to me was captured above Virginia in 2017. The person said the reason they sent it to me was because they've seen something similar in the sky above Virginia, and was wondering if anyone has seen anything similar. The object that was photographed has been described as a large cube, with others saying that it looks like it was taken near a tornado. This could be the case as Virginia is a place that suffers from tornadoes, with the worst times for them being between the months of April and September. Those who saw the images said these strange looking cubes are not anything new, with others saying they've seen similar things. Not much information can be gathered about the photograph, as when you track down the original poster of the image, a man by the name of Mr. Garcia, he didn't put a caption on the photo. UFO believers who saw it though noted that it looks similar to things that they've seen. The person who sent me the original photograph said the following: "The reason I sent you this image is because it looks very similar to something I've seen. I live close to Woodbridge, and while driving home I've seen on a few occasions a strange looking object. The only way I can describe this object is that it looks like a large black cube, seems to have the ability to hover in the sky, and doesn't make a sound. I would guess that this thing is well over 100 feet in the air, but every time I've tried to take a photograph the image just turns out blurry, and you can't really make out what I'm seeing. I have an iPhone 11 but even that can't seem to pick it up. I've seen it twice now but can't work out what this could be. It doesn't resemble a plane, a helicopter, a blimp, a hot air balloon or something natural like an animal. It just sits there. Also, I know that this thing isn't a cloud because I can see other clouds hitting this object and then splitting off. So if this was a cloud it would travel with the others. I've also seen other strange objects within my area. For example, another craft I saw had a ring of 10 lights around it. They would occasionally blink but not enough for them to be something like a plane. I've talked with friends and neighbours in the region and they've said they've seen strange things as well." End quote. UFO researchers who study the phenomenon have said that various people have seen these strange cube-like objects, and go on to say that although they're rare they are sometimes seen, saying that they are different from the most commonly sighted crafts that are witnessed by people. The most commonly sighted UFOs are those of the triangle, cigar and disc. Another resident who lives in Woodbridge also came forward to detail their sighting, saying that they saw 14 to 24 lights that were flying in a strange formation. They said the following: "They turned and headed north and back to the west and disappeared. They were all illuminated in a white colour and made no sound at all. At the point they were turning back west I could see another craft with green blinking lights coming from the north, higher than the crafts and down to where the craft started back to turn west. They all just disappeared. I retired from the army with 32 years active in reserve, and I've never seen a craft like this with no sound at all." End quote. MUFON, or the Mutual UFO Network, is a place where everyday people can go on and submit their report. It's a great place to find interesting UFO sightings as people can appear anonymous if they like. Another user detailed the mysterious encounter with a triangular-shaped craft. "While driving, me and my wife saw a large triangular-shaped craft. This thing was emitting 3 bright lights, was hovering in the sky without making a sound, appeared to be black in colour and was around 200 feet in length. I did some research when I got home in the hopes of trying to find out what we saw, but I couldn't match it to anything that came up online. This craft looked like a giant black triangle, and we have no idea what it was." End quote. These last few years have been a busy time for the UFO community. In fact, over 3,000 new UFO sightings of extraterrestrial and UFO activity have occurred, and as of right now, thousands of UFO sightings have been reported and catalogued by the MUFON organization. This is an incredible leap in sightings compared to previous years, and has many members of these communities wondering if they could very well be the case that very soon, a dramatic change could come into play, and new breakthroughs in the discovery of extraterrestrial life could be made apparent to our world, in the hopes of preparing us for an eventual transparent contact between ourselves and extraterrestrial life. Others have said it's obvious that officials are being more open to the idea of UFOs, even going on to say that government officials are gearing up to reveal the truth to the general public. As of right now, various declassified documents have been released, some of which are of particular interest, showing us that officials have had their fair share of run-ins with these unidentified flying objects. Time will tell whether the general public are told the truth about these sightings, but as of right now we can only speculate about what's going on. It's a well-known fact that when a top-secret aircraft is being made, the general public don't usually find out about it straight away. In fact, it can take years for this type of information to reach the masses, and sometimes it's not because the military wanted to tell us, but because there was a leak or people had photographed said craft. One recent aircraft that's being talked about is that of the SR-72. The Lockheed Martin SR-72, also nicknamed the Son of Blackbird, is an American hypersonic aircraft currently under construction. It's the successor to the SR-71 Blackbird, a plane that was able to reach speeds of 3,529 km per hour, or 2,200 miles per hour, and heights of 85,000 feet. The SR-72 aircraft will be the most impressive aircraft on the planet, having state-of-the-art hypersonic technology. Some websites are even reporting that the SR-72 will be able to strike targets anywhere in less than an hour. However, not everyone is entirely convinced that this aircraft is in its early stages, with some residents across the United States coming forward with their testimonies and photographs to prove that this hypersonic aircraft is currently flying around in our sky. As mentioned earlier, it can take a few years for the public to find out certain information, and it's known that we have the capability to build these kinds of crafts, because back in the 1960s we had the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. There was nothing around at the time that could match it. Even today it holds the record as being the fastest aircraft ever created. Back in the 1960s, this incredible aircraft was able to reach speeds of 3,529 km per hour, or 2,200 miles per hour. So knowing that we had this kind of tech back in the 60s, it's easy to see why people believe that the SR-72 is currently flying around in our sky. One person was driving through Wyoming a few years back when they said they saw a mysterious craft above them. They said that these objects looked like two giant black triangles, but said due to where they were positioned in the sky it was hard to get a decent photograph of them. However, they did manage to snap a photograph and you can clearly see that this aircraft is in the shape of a triangle. It's very rare for people to see these things during the daytime. The eyewitness said the following: "On April 10, 2010, I was driving east on Interstate 1815 when I looked north, and saw two black wide triangular shaped flying crafts. I could see their shape as the lights from my truck reflected off one of the bottom of the slow moving crafts. There was a light on each of the points of the triangle. One light was red, one was blue, and the third looked like a white or off-white. One craft was following the other, and they were flying low west along Interstate 80. They were flying slow enough that I was able to watch them for a while." End quote. Something to note is that as of right now no military has come forward to claim that they own these crafts, although sightings of them have been made for at least the last 50 years. These black triangles are somewhat of a mystery, with UFO believers saying that they're not the same as our crafts, while others have said that the latest line of stealth aircrafts, Others have suggested that these large black triangles are actually the SR-72, and those who've studied these hypersonic aircrafts have said this does add up. Various eyewitnesses who've seen these black triangles have said they've been seen leaving an area at extreme speeds, and it would make sense as we're just learning about these crafts now, and in the past when we found out about new stealth aircrafts they've already been in operation for a few decades. So these sightings of black triangles that people have been reporting for the last 20 years could be the SR-72 hypersonic aircraft. However, this isn't set in stone, and there's others who have said that we currently don't have anything that could match that of the mysterious black triangles. This begs the question then, what are these things? For over 40 years the triangle UFOs caused much debate. It's perhaps one of the most common shaped UFOs that's been seen. These crafts are often reported as being silent, and have been seen on a number of occasions just hovering in the sky. Sightings of the triangle UFOs often come in waves, with people seeing dozens at a time. They are also perhaps the most photographed UFO as well, with even news programs covering them. What's most impressive about these crafts is that they've been witnessed hovering motionless in the sky, and then suddenly making a high-speed departure. Pilots have said they're faster than any conventional aircraft that's currently in the sky. The SR-72 program was mentioned by the Executive Vice President of Aeronautics at Lockheed Martin, and this was during an aerospace exhibition in Fort Worth. They said the following: "Although I can't go into specifics, let's just say the Skunksworks team in California is doubling down on our commitment to speed. Hypersonics is like stealth. It's a disruptive technology, and will enable various platforms to operate at 2 to 3 times the speed of the Blackbird. Security classification guidance will only allow us to say the speed is greater than Mach 5. End quote. As mentioned though, a lot of people don't buy this, and say that the aircraft is already in the sky. In fact, according to one source, they stated that an unmanned subscale aircraft was observed flying into the US Air Force's Plant 42, which is the headquarters of Skunkworks. When those that saw and heard the aircraft asked Lockheed Martin on whether or not this was the SR-72, they declined to comment. Other people across the US have said they've seen stealth-looking aircrafts in the sky during the daytime, but note that they're too high and fast to photograph. As of right now, it's incredible to think we have an aircraft that's able to do these kinds of speeds. So what do you make of this interesting image? And do you think that the SR-72 is already flying around in our sky? Also, what do you think the mysterious black triangles are that have been seen in our sky now for almost 50 years? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.